YouTube. It's your boy Original Dog Man. Now I want you guys to check this out. But before I talk about Mr. Smelly, Dan from Mr. Smelly 1977, that's his YouTube channel, right, Mr. Smelly? I'd like to talk about some comments that were posted on my channel about the race card that I threw out there. You know, people were saying, well, Mr. Cheap Sense, his channel is shitty and he needs to up his content and his editing skills and all this other shit. Look, it doesn't matter about all that. What matters is that he does a truthful review and whether he can influence someone. Obviously, the dude has done it legit, almost up to 3,000. Legit. But you guys don't see that potential. You guys do not see that potential in him. So let me get a couple things straight and a couple things clear. And I'm going to address some of the comments. One of the comments was like, well, what do you have to say about Big Beard Business and Jay Copeland up in subscribers? And they're black. Let's get it on the table right now. Big Beard Business was one of the first black dudes on YouTube to do fragrance reviews. One of the first. He was the go-to guy for black folks. And a lot of people and a lot of companies saw this. That the demographic that was aimed and that was surrounding Big Beard Business was black people. So of course his channel's going to grow. Of course his channel's going to do some corporate cocksucking. And of course his channel's going to accept endorsements and sponsorships and all that shit. We know. It's not that hard to figure that out, why he grew that fast. And honestly, he really didn't grow that fast. He grew fast, but it took him a couple years too. So with that being said, you cannot compare Big Beard Business to Keith at Cheap Sense. Totally different kind of fucking video. Totally different kind of demographic he was aiming for. And totally different kinds of fragrances he was advertising and reviewing on his channel. Some of it was similar, but Big Beard, but Cheap Sense was doing more on the cheap side, the more on the budget side of things, which was more of an alternative than the designer fragrances and the niche fragrances that Big Beard Business is doing. Just get that out the way right now. Don't try to compare just because they're black. I want you guys to see, this is the bullshit that I'm talking about. Compare them for what it is. Don't compare them for the skin color. Call it out if you feel like the skin color is being involved, which I did with Mr. Smelly and Steven from Redolescence and Jeremy Fragrance. Yeah, I called that shit out. Black man, not PC culture. Straight talks and tells it straight up and doesn't kiss ass. And is doing it fairly and earnestly and honestly for his YouTube subscribers. So let's get that out the way, okay? So you saying, oh, why can't Mr. Cheap Sense build his channel like Big Bear Business did? He didn't have the same opportunities. He didn't have the same opportunities. Big Bear Business was first. YouTube recognized it, the algorithm recognized it, and plop, 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 bam, 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 there he is. He hogged the sidebar. The algorithm automatically chooses Big Beard Business. Why? Because he's first, he's current, and he's consistent. Cheap Sense isn't first, but you can't blame him for not being first. Cheap Sense is current, but he's still not on the sidebar, and Cheap Sense is consistent. But you still don't see him on the sidebar. So when you do it like that, man, to understand one thing, and then when you say, oh, he needs to up his camera and his editing skills, they got nothing to do with it. Cause look at Mr. Miami Cuddles, edits the fuck out his videos, and Cheap Sense still got more subscribers than Miami Cuddles. So don't bring that shit up. Don't bring that shit up. They got many motherfuckers who are editing their fucking videos and making it look spectacular, and they still can't get the fucking subscribers. This is the bullshit I'm talking about. But y'all don't want to see this. Y'all don't want to hear this. Y'all go deaf, blind, and dumb when it comes to shit that I'm talking about. You got Scott from 504 Fragrance. Edits his videos, got the New Orleans Saints sign, and he still can't get up there. He ain't moving as fast. He ain't growing as fast as TLTG or Jesus Vargas. Why is that? Why is that, people? So let's get that out the way. Now, someone says, what about Jay Copeland? What about Big Beer Business and Jay Copeland? Let's break down Jay Copeland. Jay Copeland is a calm dude. He's been in the fragrance game a long time, and it took him a long time to get his subscribers. Do I think Jay Copeland has gained his subscribers fair and square? In a way, I do. In a way, I feel like he was doing some corporate cocksucking and some clout chasing, too. That's how he grew his channel. Corporate cocksucking, some clout chasing. Hey, the dude is a salesman if he wants to be. But did Jay Copeland also get a lot of his fragrances for free? Fuck to the yeah. Did Big Bear Business get some of his fragrances for free? Fuck to the yeah. Did he get some really nice fragrances for free? Fuck to the yeah. Is Mr. Cheap Sense getting these fucking fragrances for free? Really nice fragrances and niche fragrances? Fuck to the no. Not by these companies anyway. Not by these companies. So don't try to fucking compare Big Bear Business and Jay Copeland to Cheap Sense. Fuck out of here with that dumb shit, man. Now, with that being said, I hope I squashed that for y'all. Because I still think that racism plays a big part in this whole ordeal. Whether it be from Mr. Smelly, whether it be from Steven from Red Lessons, or whether it be from Jeremy Fragrance. All subjective bullshit within their own minds. Do I think that they have racist bones in them? Fuck to the yeah. Do I have racist bone in me? Fuck to the yeah. With every last fucking race. Yeah. With every last one of y'all's subjectivity. Yes, I do. Am I wrong for it? Yes, I am. But you know what? I am human, and I admit that shit to you in your motherfucking face. Do I object with certain black people? Yes. Do I object to certain white people? Yes. Do I object to certain Japanese and Chinese people? Yes. Do I object to certain Mexican people? Yes. I can break it down for you in another video if you want me to break down what I don't like about each race and culture. Yeah, I'm fucking racist. I'm racist against my own fucking people. But it's only on the negative shit that I'm racist about, that I'm prejudiced about in each and every culture that I don't like. And I disagree with certain shit. Do I like young black men, like my brothers and my cousins, walking around with their jeans and they draw showing like they ready to get fucked in the ass? Do I like that shit? Do I agree with that? Fuck no. I disagree with that culture. I disagree with that kind of image. It gives black people a bad image. You call it style. That's not style. That's bullshit. That's what it is. Chinese and Japanese people, do I disagree with them eating babies and eating shit that they shouldn't be eating? Yeah. Yes, I disagree with that shit. Racist blacks, racist whites, yeah, I disagree with that shit. Mexican people, I disagree with them too, and Spanish people.
Hey, I'm doing my hair.
Most Mexicans, believe it or not, if you go to California, you live in California, Long Beach, Mexicans are racist against Spanish people. Yeah. Mexicans are racist against Spanish people. The little short Mexicans hate the bright-skinned Spanish people. And they speak the same fucking language, basically. Mexicans are racist against blacks in California. Yeah, that's happening too.
I gotta put a bobby pin in my hair to hold it up. And then I want to go outside.
Alright, so now, you think I wasn't going to get this, huh, Mr. Smelly? But I got the messages, man. I got these messages and I'm going to read them to every last one of y'all so y'all can see what's up. Key sent me these messages of what Mr. Smelly said. Because Mr. Smelly wasn't man enough to come to me and tell me what he felt about my videos and what I said about him. Since you ain't man enough to tell me, Keith was man enough to tell me what you was talking about me behind my back. I don't talk about you behind your back. I say it in open public, baby. I say it in the open air how I feel. Mr. Smelly. Yeah, that's right. I say it to everyone. So everyone. Transparency, baby. That's all I'm about. Transparency and truth. You guys want to know? Here's the messages. Let me get the very first message. If this is Mr. Smelly, pay attention to what he says here. Hello, Keith. It's Dan from the channel Mr. Smelly 1977 here. Somebody told me that you made a video complaining that I didn't send you a sample of Gravitas Pour Homme. I watched it. Apparently, you asked for a sample in the comments on one of my YouTube videos. While I try to answer a lot, while I try to answer a lot of those, he probably wanted to say, while I try to answer to a lot of those, I certainly can't keep up with every comment. We do not currently produce. Hold on, let me get back to it. We do not currently produce samples of the fragrance at all. We sent full bottles to a limited number of YouTube reviewers. Hey, that's on you, man. Get ready for some blowback. You should know the game. Here's the thing. Who else didn't give out samples? Who else didn't give out samples? Because they didn't want everyone or the majority of people to really know what the fragrances was about. Who else? Know who else? Jeremy motherfucking Fragrance. That was the way he planned his strategy to sell his product. To not give out samples. Because he knew if he give out samples, he'd get truth out of a lot of us smaller YouTubers. Because we count. Mr. Smelly took that same fucking strategy. We're not going to do samples. Why, man? Why are you not going to do samples? Little bitty vials. I mean, you could have taken 3 bottles, made little bitty vials, and sent it out to basically every fucking YouTuber, every reviewer on YouTube. All the major players. Even in Fragcom. You could have gave one to Cuddles. You could have gave one to DB. You could have gave one to Cheap Sense, Trey Sense. You could have gave one to Stefan Fragrance. You could have gave one to Aussie Fragrance. You could have gave to all the major 504, 502. That wasn't even gonna hit 100 ml. You mean to tell me you couldn't give us reviewers a sample vial, man? A scratch and sniff or something? You couldn't give us that. Well, know why? Because your bitch ass was thinking about making that money and doing money grabs. The less people and the more people that you know that are your friends who review it and review it in a positive light and not what it really is supposed to be, then maybe more people would buy. That's your idea. But see, you wasn't thinking. We are Fragcom. And we will fucking fight back on y'all bullshit. We do not currently produce samples of the fragrance at all. We sent full bottles to limited number of YouTube reviewers. Limited. See, this is that bullshit where they only send these motherfuckers with high subscriber count. They don't give a fuck about the backbone. They give a fuck about the numbers, the people with the numbers. And some of those numbers are fake. Some of those numbers are bought. What, Steven from Real Lessons? Huh? Ashton? You gave one to Georgia Sense, or you either bought it, or you gave it to him because you went on his comment and said, thank you for featuring Gravitas Pour Homme. That's what you said on Georgia Sense video, man. Then you said the number of YouTubers, these were all people with larger number. Yeah, you just give a fuck about the big people. You don't give a fuck about the backbone, us little reviewers with minimum subscribers. Right? You don't give a fuck about us, huh? You don't give a fuck about, but we are the repeat buyers, man. We're the ones that buying your shit. We're the ones that's buying your shit. It says, there were all people with larger numbers of viewers and or people that we have a lot of contact with. There you go. There's your bias, people. There's your bias. There's your bullshit. This is where the untruthfulness comes in. Right here. He only going to give to people who he has a lot of contact with. What does that tell y'all? What's that tell y'all? He's only going to give to people who he get along with. Where's the bias in that? You're only going to give to motherfuckers who going to get positive reviews? That's basically what you're saying, man. Let's go on to the next part because there's many parts to this. There's 4 parts to this message, and I'm clicking on the next one now. This is the next one. I like to send it to more reviewers, but we are a business. No bullshit. You can send samples. One bottle, 100 ml. You could have sent it to 100 fucking reviewers. Trust me, man. He could have done that. Even a half a vial. A half a sample will suffice. But he couldn't do that. He can get one bottle, but he had to give away a bunch of bottles to all the top players. What kind of bitch move is that, man? Then he says, I like to send it to more reviewers. Well, send it, motherfucker. You ever heard that shit? Send it. You know, like those X game dudes when they on their bikes and their skateboards and all. Send it. Send that shit. So I like to send it to more reviewers, but we are a business. Man, look, all the fucking shit that you have on your YouTube, join this and pay this monthly and you get to watch extra. All that money you getting, man. And your t-shirts and all this other shit, all that. And you can't send a little bitty sample to all us, not me, because I don't want your shit. I'll buy my own shit. I'm talking about everybody else in the game. Fragcon, baby. Send it. This is what you said. I'd like to send it to more reviewers, but we are a business and we have limited stock. You have limited stock? You have limited stock? If you have limited stock, then why the fuck are you sending it to these big top tier reviewers? Could you handle the flood when they open the floodgates on your bitch ass? If Ashton and Steven and Jeremy Fragrance open them floodgates, can you handle that back blow? Can you produce more fragrances? If you have limited stock, then you should send it to the small people first. Wouldn't that make sense? It'd be a wonderful world if it did make sense, right? But nah, this Mr. Smelly, he's just full of shit. He's just full of shit, people. So he goes, unfortunately, that's the way of the world. No, unfortunately, that's your subjective bullshit. He says, we have to pick the YouTube reviewers who can share their thoughts with the most people in some, not all cases, those with whom we have established a connection. Basically, he's saying, we're going to send it to the motherfuckers who going to talk good shit about our fragrance. About my fragrance. This is what he's saying. This is what Mr. Smelly saying here. We only going to send it to the people who we know going to talk good shit. Is that what you saying, Mr. Smelly? I think that's what you saying, man. I think that's what you saying. He says, cases those with whom we have established a connection. None of those people were under any obligation to make a video, and if they did make one, they were under no pressure to make it a good review. You know, that sounds like a whole lot of shielding right there. That sounds like a whole lot of shielding. Sure. Send it to the people they make connections with, but there are no obligation to make a good. How about send it to some random motherfuckers and let's see what they say. Let your fragrance speak for itself in an unbiased way. So you sending it to people you know and people you made a connection with, that's a bias right there, baby. That's in your favor. That's not in favor of us. That's in your favor, man. I love all the great YouTube channels out there, and I wish you success with yours. What? So you don't think Cheap Sense is a success? I think Cheap Sense is a success. Huh? My channel's a fucking success, motherfucker. The fuck you mean you wish him success? He is successful. Don't fucking try to downplay us and patronize us, man. Fuck out of here. Now he comes in and talks about me. This is where he talks about me. This is where I'm going to have a lot to say right here. He says, disturbingly, I see another reviewer, Original Dogman. Don't act like you don't fucking know me, man. Original Dogman has made 1 or 2 videos in which he alleges, yeah, I alleged. I insinuated. I said there's no other alternative, man. That's what I see. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I see. And I explained it in my fucking video. Clear as daylight. But some people didn't get it. That's why I'm making this video. And you didn't get it. That's why I'm making this video. Because I'm going to show you the errors in your fucked up ways, Mr. Smelly. He says, made 1 or 2 videos in which he alleges that I am racist. Maybe you are, bruh. Maybe you are. Can you prove to us otherwise? How many black friends you got, Mr. Smelly? If I go to your Facebook right now and click on it. How many real black people and friends do you have, man? I think I might just go. This is a very serious and totally untrue allegation. Really? Okay. Even if it is untrue, I'm still calling you out on your other shit. Serious? You think this is serious? It's only serious to you because it plays in your mind. Being racist isn't serious, man. It's serious because you're selling product. But I could give a fuck less if you serious about being racist. I could give a fuck less if you racist. I don't care. That's your subjectivity, baby. That's your free will to choose what you hate or what you love. I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck whether it impacts us. You only give a fuck because it impacts your business. You don't give a fuck if it impacts us. You give a fuck because it impacts your sales. I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck whether you give Fragcom a true representation and through reviews from us that your fragrance is either good or bad. But it seems like you only want to give motherfuckers who you make connections with your fragrance. He says, this is a very serious and totally untrue allegation. I couldn't help but notice that you have commented on his video without objecting to the appalling things he said about me and others. He ain't gotta fucking say shit. I speak my fucking mind. He didn't call you racist. He commented on my video. He agrees with a lot of biases that goes on fucking Fragcom. And so does many other people. So does many other people. OGs in the game too. You too at one point, Mr. Smelly, agree with some of the biases in Fragcom. You've made bash videos sarcastically and underlyingly about Jeremy Fragrance. So yeah, you have your biases too. You see it too. What's understood doesn't have to be spoken, man. His main reason for saying I am racist seems to be that I didn't send you a sample. We didn't send samples to anyone. Lots of people have asked for them. Oh, but you care about Fragcom. Lots of people have asked for samples, but you didn't give it. Why? Why? Want to know why? Because you tried to do a bitch move like Jeremy Fragrance did with his Office for Men and Date for Men. Yeah, no samples. So you can only get a gist of what the fragrance is about through bias reviews and YouTubers who y'all made connections with. Not us. Not the real motherfuckers who will really tell everyone what y'all fragrances smell like, whether it's worth buying or not. Yeah, not us. He says, we didn't send samples to anyone. Lots of people have asked for them, and I have not answered them. Oh! Lots of people, listen to this, people. Lots of people had asked for them, and I have not answered them. So you did. So you basically saying you knew that Cheap Sense asked for those samples, but you didn't answer him. That's basically what you say here. Lots of people have asked for them, but you have not answered them. Or you have not answered them all. I doubt you answered any of them. I have not answered them all, and I haven't sent anyone who asked for one in a YouTube comment a sample. Oh, so you neglect your YouTube comments. Fuck your YouTube comments. It's got to be in an email, or you got to join your groups for $5 a month, or $15 or $20 a month. That's when you're going to answer them, huh? Huh? So you're not going to answer these motherfuckers in your YouTube comments. But you thumbs up them, though. You thumbs up them, huh, Mr. Smelly? Come on, man. With great power comes great fucking responsibility. You want those fucking subscribers? You still want to remain loyal? You don't want to become PC culture or corporate cocksucker? Answer your fucking subscribers. I do. And when I get too big, where I can't handle it, I shut it down. You can't handle your subscribers? You can't talk to your subscribers? Shut your fucking channel down, man. Because this is exactly what happens when you do shit like this. Let's go on to the next fucking thing. Goes on. Like any decent human being. Oh, you a decent human being. I am totally against racism. Okay. No problem then. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're not really racist. No racist bone in your body whatsoever. We're going to give you that. She says, I love sharing our fragrance hobby with people of all races and nationalities. You love sharing your fragrance hobbies with all people of races and nationalities. Then tell me why the majority of the people that you have given fragrances to are white. And tell me why you haven't given out samples to everyone, since you love sharing your fragrance hobby. Tell me why you charge people to join your exclusive groups. You love sharing. What you love is you love people sharing with you. You love people sharing their shit with you. You want our money. You want our fragrances. You want our reviews. You want good reviews. That's what you want, Mr. Smelly. So there. Let's go with this here. Here is another shield, you guys. All races and nationalities, men and women, gay and straight, everybody around the world. Of course you do, man. If you have anything to say about this, I'd be happy to discuss it with you, Dan. This is what Cheap Sense said. He said, what he said just shows the bias with these companies. Oh, yeah. And I'm showing your bias right now, Mr. The fuck is your name? Mr. Smelly? Yeah. Showing your bias. This is the last part of it, y'all. Right here. The people who were sent bottles were picked by a number of people. And as I said, they generally have higher views, or they are people that we've had contact with. Not just people who ask in a YouTube comment for a sample. Cheap Sense had higher views than Georgia Gent. But Georgia Gent got a bottle of Gravitas pour on. But what color is Mr. Georgia Gent? Hey, Matt, I ain't got nothing against you, bro. I'm just calling this shit out. Now, if you got something against me, Matt, then go ahead and say it. Because I ain't saying nothing negative about you. Not yet, Matt. I'm calling out the bullshit in FragCon. So, Matt, if you have a problem with me, go ahead and message me, man. I'm sorry I bring your name up, but your name is in it. This is some bullshit. If you make a comment in a video where I am being publicly accused of being racist, and the reason is to do with you, and you don't object to it, then you likely to be seen as implying that you agree with the vile slur against me. So now he's going to tell Cheap Sense that if he comes and comments in my video, everything I say Cheap Sense agrees with. He don't think that Cheap Sense is his own man now. Cheap Sense did not say anything racist about anyone. It was me, baby. It was me. Now you want to tell another man how to be? You gonna tell another man that he racist because of me? What kind of bullshit is that, man? Cheap Sense didn't say anything about him being racist or you being racist or anyone being racist. Vile slur against me? The vile slur is you being racist. Yeah, Mr. Smelly. See, here's the thing, Mr. Smelly. You wasn't raised in the streets, bruh. You ain't grow up hard and you don't see the hardships. You don't recognize shit like we do. But I recognize it, baby. I recognize your bullshit. And keep opening your mouth and I will expose you even more so to this entire frag-com. You love sharing your fragrances, you said, but you won't give out any sample vials, no scratch and sniffs, huh? You couldn't even give out scratch and sniffs. You couldn't take some toilet paper, hit it with one spray, and send it on its way to one of us. You couldn't even do that, man. Ain't that hard to do. But you'd rather give out entire bottles to all the top tier fragrance reviewers who are up in numbers because you care more about yourself than you care about frag-com. And you want to know what? That's worse than being prejudiced against just black people. You want to know what that is? That's being prejudiced against the entire frag-com community. So you can suck a dick with that. I'm out, bitch.